Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to dye human hair toppers or wigs. This happens to be a frontal, which is a little bit bigger than a closure or a topper. It is 4x4 in the center and then roughly 4x4 on each side. And I got this from AliExpress. I'll leave a link to my other videos on the unboxing of this and what exactly AliExpress is, because it has lots of different sellers. This is human hair, Remy, meaning it's all facing the same direction, and supposedly virgin, untreated, hasn't been dyed. So it should be the natural hair color of the people that donated the hair. Right now it is about maybe a 1B or a 2. So it's black, but like a brown, natural black rather than jet blue. And I'm just trying to match my bio hair, which is more of like a 4 or 6. So it doesn't need to come down much, but we are going to need to bleach this. And I'll go step by step on what products you need and how to do it properly. So stick around. And let's do a close-up of this hair so you can see nice part and the color. You are going to need a glass or plastic bowl. You are going to need to go to Sally's or your beauty store or online and get some bleach powder. This happens to be a very fancy package that's supposed to add blue tones, because as black hair bleaches, it gets very red and orangey. And there are a little bit of instructions on here. You're going to need some developer. This happens to be 20. They also make 40 volume. That just mentions kind of the strength. I use 20. You're going to need some gloves to protect your hands and some mixing tools. You can also use a brush, which is what most people use. I, of course, cannot find mine. And then after you're done bleaching, you're going to need to color it. So you're going to need to pick whatever color you want to apply to the more kind of blonde hair than it is black hair. So let's get started. Okay, you also want to put down some plastic or foil or something to protect your counter. Make sure that you're wearing a t-shirt you don't mind getting a bleach stain on. So first we're going to mix up our bleach. This is the powder, and you want to make sure you read the directions. Normally it is 1 part of powder to 2 parts of developer. And this is the developer. This is a 20 volume. And normally you used to do a test strand. I'm usually too lazy to do one. So you're going to use the entire packet. This is 1 ounce of powder, so we need 2 ounces of developer. And because you might want to see what measurement that is, 2 ounces is 1/4 of a cup. So that's why we have a 1/4 cup measuring thing. And then you're going to cut open your packet. And this is very blue. Don't be worried. That just adds a slight blue tone at the end rather than orangey red. And supposedly this is scented green apple, so maybe it won't smell terrible. And we're going to do 2 ounces of this. And give that a stir, and it should come out to being a thick, creamy batter, like a cake batter. Not too runny, but not too thick, because you don't want it to dry out before your hair is done processing, because it does need to be liquidy. So this is what it's like. I'm actually going to add teeny bit more developer. So it's not runny, it's still creamy. It's just, might not have gotten everything off of that measuring cup. Now we're going to put on our gloves, if you hadn't already. And remember, once you start mixing this together, you have to use all of it within a certain period of time. All right. Now there are different ways you can do it. You can spread your hair out on trash bags or foil and brush it on. I like to just put it all in the bowl because I'm not doing a huge amount, and just use my fingers to make sure that it gets on all of the hair. So I'm just running my fingers through. And I had combed this hair previously, so I know there are no tangles. And you're just trying to evenly coat every strand of hair. Now they do sell those powders in like buckets if you're doing a large piece, so that you can mix a little bit at a time as you need it. Hopefully this will be enough for this piece. And it does smell pretty strongly of bleach, so make sure you're doing it in a well ventilated area. Okay, I added a little bit more developer to get a more liquidy consistency, and you can also add plain conditioner if it is not the right consistency, because I needed a little more liquidness to get through and in between all the hair. And I can see that it is starting to bleach. It's starting to look a little bit light brown. So I'm just checking to make sure that I didn't miss any areas in here. At the top, seems to be going pretty well. And now you are just going to leave it, but you want to cover it. So we're going to leave it in the bowl. You can also drape it out flat onto a piece of plastic if you want. And we're just going to check it every 5 minutes to make sure that the color is progressing as we want. And we're just going to cover that bowl up so it doesn't dry out. Okay, it has been about 5 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and check and see the progress. It is coming along. I can see and feel that it's warm, and it's starting to look a little more red-brown. I don't know if you can tell that. And remember, wet hair looks darker than dry hair. So this is wet, so it's going to be probably light enough for what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the sink and start rinsing this out, because I don't want to go too far. The longer you leave it on and the lighter color you get, the more damage you cause to human hair. And because I'm only looking for a dark brown rather than a blonde, this should be sufficient. If you left this on for 20 to 30 minutes, you should get a light blonde color. To get platinum, you often have to dye it or bleach it twice. Okay, I've moved over to the sink and still wearing my gloves. I'm going to use some warm water to start rinsing out this bleach. And now that I've cleaned out my bowl, I'm going to set it in the warm water and use a little bit of shampoo to make sure I got all of it out. And because this is human hair, you want to use good shampoo. So sulfate-free, paraben-free. It's what I use on my own bio hair, so it's what I would use on my human hair basis. Now I'm also going to use some good conditioner. Now I might not even have to dye this brown depending on how this comes out. Oh, excuse me. So be generous with your conditioner, just like you would if you dyed your own hair. You want to prevent that damage. I'm just going to let it sit in that conditioner water for a few minutes so that it really soaks in and gets every strand. So this is my hair still wet, but it has been conditioned, and you can see it is definitely lighter in color. And because I'm impatient, I'm going to go ahead and blow dry this, though normally I would say just let it air dry. Okay, I have finished blow drying it. As you can see, it came out much lighter, which is what I wanted. This is the synthetic cherry chocolate wig that I was wearing earlier, so you can kind of see the difference. And then this is a hair bundle that came with this same piece that was the same color. So you can see it was black, and now it is a medium brown, kind of a golden cinnamon brown. I'm actually really liking this color, and it is sort of the color, because I like red hair, that I used to dye my own hair. So I might leave it as this because it did come out pretty even, rather than dyeing it a slightly darker brown to match my own hair. So we'll see how it goes, but all in all, I'm very happy. And I just wanted to say, even though this hair looks a little bit dry and damaged since being bleached, it hasn't tangled, it hasn't had any breakage, I haven't had any shedding or anything like that, so pretty good quality. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.